I know.
Okay, Jenny, I'll record it, I guess.
Now if I make I'm going to talk slow now because if I make a mistake.
What happened to
Drip, 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 drip. All right. All right. So this is your payout, right? And you may or may not have enough chips to make this payout. So first of all, we're gonna have to learn how to calculate this, right? So calculating. First part of calculating is knowing your multiplication tables all the way up to 10 for all of them that you know 1 through 12 like you did back in elementary school. Also now your 17s and your 35s, at least up to 10. Know those because you're gonna need them. Once you have those become your Legos, right? They become your they could rent something from Legos. They become the building blocks for all of your other payouts after that, right? So okay, so here we go. So I know that 4 times 35 is going to be 140. I also happen to have 5 of these. I like sets of 5 because they help me stay on track of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna do 140 plus 85 is 225. I got 5 of these, so 5 times 8 is 40, so 225 is now 265, okay? 265, I haven't done one of these corners, but I could plug this 8 into this 22 to make another 30. So now I'm at 295. 295 plus 15 is 310, okay? So there's 310. So first of all, I should have my dog on it though, because why am I calculating it otherwise, right? So now I have 310. So I should be grabbing 310 chips. Now, am I allowed to grab 310 chips?
No.
I'm not. I'm allowed to I'm allowed to grab 210 chips, right? Because I could put 10 non-value on top. But then I'm gonna have to figure out how to do the other 100 units in 5 chips or less, which I know I can do, okay? Even if those are quarters, yeah, I can still do that, okay? So now I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna grab chips. And what I'm gonna do is, if I wanted 1, I'd grab this one. If I wanted 2, I'd grab the outside. If I want 3, I'm gonna grab the diagonal. In this case, I want 10. I'm gonna treat that like I want 1, except I'm gonna bring 3 rows with it in front. So here's 10 right there. And while it's in here, I'm gonna turn it into a football, okay? There's 10. Now I happen to know that I need an extra 10, so I'm gonna add 1 to my football, just like that, okay? So I actually grabbed a total of 11. Now that I have it here, as long as I don't lose sight of what's going on over there, I'm okay to do whatever I need to do to get it over here, okay? I could bring it as far as the first dozen, no farther than the first dozen, because that's offsides, it's a 10-yard penalty, okay? So, so that's 200. I'm gonna break this one in half, and I got 210, right? I need 100 more units. So, let me ask you a question. These are quarters, right? According to this right here. And it says 500 to say that it's quarters. Why do we call it? Why do we use a 500 lanyard to say that this is 25? Full stack is 500. So I need 100 units, right? I need 100 units. If full stack is 500, we're talking about stacks of 20, right? Just like at every other game we have, right? So if I need 100, I need 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. That's 520s, isn't it? Not to be confused with 420. A whole different ballgame, right? Okay. So, but because these are quarters, first of all, I'm gonna prove this. That's 100 units, and I'm also gonna prove a full stack here. Now, am I talking about units or am I talking about value? I called it 310 units, right? Units are always units, and units always get broken down in sets of 5, okay? Because they're units. If this was a color up, now I'm not talking about units. I'm talking about 200 times 25. We're talking about 5,000, right? 5,000, 7,500. Plus 10 more, 7,750. Now I should be breaking it down in sets of 4 because I'm talking about the value of it. 7,750. Okay? Does that make sense? But as long as you're talking about units, again. Then they're in 5s, okay? Because units are always units. So now I got this on display just like that. Now I say floor.
You're good.
Paying out 310 gray quarters, 5 purple over. 310 gray quarters, right? I'm giving them all the information they need to know. Do I have to know that it's 7,750? Clearly not, because I didn't know that a minute ago when I was about to do it, right? So it doesn't matter the amount. I just need to know that my units are correct. If my units are correct and my conversion is correct, then the payout is correct. Yeah? So there they go. I said 310 gray quarters, 5 purple over. They come over, they see that I have, and they know the standard standard setups for these pushes, right? So if they see it like this, they're more likely to recognize it. They know that this is 180 units based on the way it's built. They see the 30 over here, so they know that it's 210, and they see the 5 purple, which represents 100 units. They're gonna say, go ahead. Once I get the go ahead, I'm gonna stack this back up. That's a full one. I can put up to 10 value and up to 10 non-value, but no more than 15 total on top. So in this scenario, that works. I have 10 non-value, I have 5 value, no more than 15 total, okay? And now it depends on where I'm sending it. So if I'm sending it over here, I just move these over here, and that's real easy to push, okay? If I'm sending it over there, I'm probably gonna start you off over here like this, and then I'm gonna bring it to the tip of the dozen, okay? But no further than that. And then I'm gonna push. Now, you're gonna wanna hold the phone for this one because it's actually kind of funny. So don't miss the comedic relief here. So to start your push, you're gonna back up over here a little bit. You're gonna extend your arm out here. You're gonna throw up the gang sign, okay? And you're gonna go over here, okay? And then you're gonna twerk. No. So you're gonna bring that over here, and then once you get here, now you could go straight again, okay? And then you could finish pushing it the rest of the way.
Wow.
Yeah? And that's your push for 310 units. If it was inside, pulling it back is always going to be 2 hands because there's no way you're not going to walk over there to grab it, right? So if it was the other way, and let's say I was pushing it over here to Steve, then I'm gonna just go right here. As long as I have enough space for my hand, basically, I could just push it right over there. Easy money. I don't even have to worry about that. Okay. The pushes. Let's talk about the pushes. If you're pushing one stack. If you're pushing one stack, very important, okay? You're gonna start with your hand up, okay? Hands up like this, okay? You gotta prove you didn't steal nothing, right? Hand up like that. And now you're gonna bring your thumb over like this, right? As you twist, you bring your thumb over, it's gonna naturally put this pinky on its side over here, right? It becomes kind of like a bumper. Put your thumb right there. Bring your ring finger over here. Right? You got that? If you blink, you'll miss it. There you go. Just like that. Thumb around it. Pick it up and you give it to them. There you go.
Wow.
All that.
All right. So let's talk about the real push. Well, yeah, that's good because that is the start of a real push. So you start here, bring it around. And basically all of that I said is true. You're gonna cradle this with these 3 fingers, okay? Just like that. Let's remove some, give you x-ray vision. That's what you're doing right there, okay? So you're gonna cradle them like that. Got one extra. And then the second stack is actually gonna ride with that ring finger. If you wanted to, you could make it your middle finger. That's probably more comfortable. And now it looks like a situation where this stack chases that stack. It's not that situation. These stacks are both moving. You're moving this stack and this stack away from your hand. Of course, your hand is the one that's doing the action, so it's not gonna work. But what that means is that these chips are constantly going to be trying to tuck themselves underneath your fingers, okay? And that's what gives you the pressure to be able to push them forward.
It's kind of a diagonal.
Kind of a
push.
diagonal, yeah, a diagonal. Even the minimal amount of diagonal is enough. When you have 3 stacks, it's basically the same thing. But now what you're doing is, you're doing this, dropping the thumb, and now you're just extending your thumb a little further to support this one. And now you're pushing this one between those two, but then your middle finger and your thumb are keeping those two together so that that chip never does actually make it through that line, okay? You got 4, you got a hitchhiker. It's the same push, but you got that guy over there getting a free ride, okay? You got 5, that's a new one. So now, where you had this here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna switch it over and you're gonna have this middle finger over here. Now the nail part of this ring finger becomes a bumper in and of itself over here. And now you're pushing it in that direction, okay? Still that diagonal situation. When you have 6, you got your second hitchhiker, another free rider, okay? Just right there, and you're pushing it in that same direction. Now, your real directionality is, the optimal directionality for this is this guy chasing that guy, okay? If you're pushing it in that direction, you're never gonna lose that. They're not even gonna move around, they're not gonna do any of that stuff. It's gonna be a perfect push every single time. What happens when you have 7? 7 is a whole new ball game. Now you're in flower power, okay? The 70s, right? Yeah. You got your bell bottoms on, the whole 9. Okay. Same thing. Start with your hand flat, facing up. Bring the thumb over, just like this. And every single time, starting from the very first push, you're hoping for that rug burn, okay? This time, this line is chasing that line. It's a straight push for the first time, okay?
Wait, so you're not using a ring finger to push like that?
You could. So everyone's gonna have a different level of comfort. Some people prefer this one. To me, I can't get my fingers straight enough, and I have this one trying to sneak out already, right? So I don't know. I don't like it when my kids sneak out at night, right?
I can't do the pinky. My pinky's not. I can't keep it straight.
You can't keep it straight. Yeah.
Keep my
So
ring finger.
it'll be different for everybody. The important thing is that you're pushing down just as much as you're pushing forward. That's the important part. Okay. Now I'm gonna add one, and you think when you add a stack, you're increasing the level of difficulty. That's not true. Not even a little bit. You're actually anchoring it in. So this one is a lot more stable than 8 was. Okay. Because it all kind of stays packed in because of the way that those chips interact. When you need 9, oh, by the way, once you're on flower power and you add one, where you add it gives you your directionality. This can go in 6 different directions depending on where I put that extra stack. Okay, I don't have to like do this and then this and then that to change the direction. I just have to move that one stack. Right? That's it. When I add another one, now I've got 9 stacks. I got the unfinished pyramid, okay? And now that's where you start doing that gang sign that I taught you. So this is the gang sign right here, okay? You're basically building a little snowman right here, and your ring finger is out, okay? It's like you're saying okay, but you're twisting that one finger, okay? Once you've done that, press that into the table, and that's your actual shape that you want. Now that you're there, bring it diagonal like that, give it an angle, and make each of your thumb, this finger, and that ring finger touch each one of those stacks. Once it's touching, freeze it, okay? Like liquid nitrogen. You want to freeze it right where it is, and then from that point on, the only thing that's moving is your arm, not your hand. The minute you try to stabilize it by moving your hand, you're gonna mess it up more than however unstable it felt in the beginning, okay? Every move from that point on of your hand is a bad move, I promise you. As much as it feels necessary, it is a wrong idea. Do not try to fix it. All right. And then just like 8 was easier than 7, 10 is easier than 9. Same thing. Boom. Straight up, just like that. And it's the same gang sign, same directionality. Pushing down while pushing forward. Okay? Pushing forward gets it where you want it to go. Pushing down makes sure that none of the chips escape underneath your hand. Okay?
On a slightly different question. Penciling up to 5 is okay?
You can pencil up to 5. You can also pluck. So plucking is what you already are used to, right? Except it's right now it's vertical, where in your tray it's kind of horizontal, right? But I can pluck 5 out of here. Or I could take a full stack of them and I could pencil 5 off, right? Either one of those is valid, but you always have to start with a full stack if you're gonna pencil, obviously, and then that's enough to prove that you've done the right thing. When you have a full stack and you leave these 5 down there, the camera will know that you have 15 left, and it will assume that that's 15. Of course, if you're doing that with quarters or above, you're gonna have to prove the partial, and you're gonna have to prove a full stack anyway. So there's no good reason to pencil at that point. You might as well just break it down. And that's all she wrote. Yeah.